All right, guys, and joining us right now from Baltimore, where the Rangers taking on the Baltimore Orioles, it's Texas Rangers third baseman and infielder Josh Smith. Josh, what's up, man? What are you doing?
What's up, guys? Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for accommodating us. I know last time we tried to have you on, you had your little glute deal, and medical priorities always supersede the Rangers Today baseball podcast.
Absolutely.
As wildly popular as we are, Josh.
Yeah, sorry about
we
that.
understand. We definitely understand. So, yeah, I mean, you've been in the lineup for what, 10 straight days now, or whatever it is. Are you feeling good?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think those first couple games back, I was still kind of having to manage it a little bit, but recently it's been feeling a lot better. So it's a good sign.
You know, there's a guy who's going to the Hall of Fame next month who made a life out of managing injuries.
Yeah.
But it's something you got to learn how to do. I mean, you said it. This is the first time you've played this much, or first time in a long time. So how are you recuperating day to day and trying to? I mean, it's a grind. How are you trying to get through the grind?
Yeah, I think obviously it's never good to come out of the lineup, but I think just allowing myself to have 2 or 3 of those days kind of not being full go, I think probably saved me from missing a good bit of the season, or from missing a IL stint, So I think that was kind of the mature thing to do, although I hated doing it, but I just think it kind of helped me out a little bit because now I kind of feel back to normal, so that's good. But yeah, it's a lot. Playing every day, it's something I'm not used to since the minor leagues, and so it's cool for me because I get to watch 2 of the best do it. So I like to kind of see how Seager and Simeon do things, and they both do things completely different, but I kind of take bits and pieces from each of them and just kind of see how they manage their bodies. They're getting work done once a series at least. So I tried to incorporate that into my routine.
Yeah. I make the analogy that a baseball player is like a used car. As soon as you drive it off the lot, it starts to depreciate. So as soon as you guys show up to spring training and work out for the first time, you start to break down physically, not like suddenly, but it's just a gradual thing.
It's a long season,
and
yeah,
it's something you have to learn how to do. And I know a lot of young guys struggle to do it, but like you said, Marcus, he just works his way through it. It just seems like he's a worker and he wants to work. We don't see Corey a lot in the clubhouse or on the field before games. He's got his own routine though, and it works. So how can you argue with it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I think so special about baseball is you got guys who do things completely different, but when the game time comes, it's like what gets them to that point to where when 7 o'clock rolls around, they're ready to go. So everybody's different. Everybody's got a different routine, but whatever works for them, I think those 2 guys have found what works for them, and they do it to a T better than anyone I've ever seen.
All right, so a lot of things are working for you right now. You've had a fantastic first half. Yesterday was game 81, so you guys are officially at the halfway point. You're leading the team in batting average. I think OPS. I mean, you're doing a lot of great things after last season that maybe didn't leave a very good taste in your mouth despite all the success the team had. What's the key? What was the key for you to get off to this start?
Yeah, I think I've been asked this question a lot, and obviously personal numbers last year weren't the best, but season-wise, like as having fun and enjoying my experience was one of the best years of my life. I'd go back and hit $180 again to win the World Series. Like it was awesome. But yeah, it's just different when you're not playing every day. It's extremely hard. Some of the guys, ask any bench player in the MLB, it's really, really hard. I'm not saying it's harder than playing every day, but it is hard to get those reps and to have consistent at bats. And so I definitely think that's helped a little bit, knowing that, like the other day, I went 0 for 5 with 4 punchies. I'm like, all right, I still think I'm going to be in there tomorrow. So that's a good feeling. Right. I mean, not having to know that last year, if I go 0 for 5 with 4 punchies, I'm not playing for 3 months, So it's a little different. So.
Well, but what you say, their history shows that if you get your chance, that like job security is huge for people because they don't have to worry about the next day, like you just mentioned. Like Nelson Cruz is the ultimate example, at least for the Rangers. 2008, he gets designated for assignment at the end of spring training. Nobody claims him. Nelson Cruz, who has now retired with more than 400 home runs, nobody claimed him. He goes to AAA, becomes Babe Ruth of what was of the Pacific Coast League or whatever league there were. It might have been the American Association, whatever it was. And then he comes up in September and they say, "This is your job."
Yeah.
And he took off. That was it. That was history. And but so that helps for sure. But you also made some swing changes. And I remember you telling me you got to feel it in your lat.
Yeah, it's
what is that?
It's pretty crazy, honestly, because growing up, like even in the minor leagues, I always hit pretty well, but never knew why. Like never knew why. Just went out there and hit. And I just remember always talking. Tim Hires would always say, I'd be like, Tim, I don't know. I used to not think about anything. And he's like, man, I've dealt with so many guys like you to where they just hit and then they get to the big leagues and they get exposed, and then you got to kind of start learning about your swing and learning how things work. And so I used to be the least mechanical person in the world, and now I could tell you just about everything with the swing. And so I think I've just done a better job of understanding the swing and understanding why I'm struggling at times and why things aren't where they need to be. And so it's just been a little bit easier to make some adjustments.
Well, I noticed your stance too. Your right foot now comes back. You're a little more open. You didn't do that as much last year. That's part of it too. It's just your setup. I guess that's your setup, getting to where you want to be and loading.
Yeah, so that's another thing that I've taken away from some of the guys here, especially Corey, just on how your setup kind of helps you get into a better landing position and your body is just more efficient. And so tried to get, like if you go, I mean, my setup's probably pretty different every day, I guess, but just minor things that maybe people wouldn't be able to see, but just different feels and just kind of just maintaining and having checkups on where I'm at. So,
I don't know that 10 years ago, maybe even sooner than that hitters would talk like you just talked, and you didn't say anything technical, but you talked about your body, and it just seems like biometrics. Is that what it's called? Biomechanics, whatever. Bio meaning biology and body.
Something just smart.
And and it just seems like that's something that Donnie's big on, and now that the whole organization is big on for hitters and pitchers. So did you have to go to a lab or anything like that? Just have your
No, I've like what I've done this year is it's not based on anything that I got from like lab or stuff like that, but I just think that's where some of the stuff frustrates me with some of the older guys who played the game, which I respect them more than anything. But those guys too thought about mechanics. They didn't have social media to talk about it. But I promise you, guys back then thought about mechanics just as much as we do. They might have spit a little bit more and been a little bit more grindier because they could run people over, but it's the game. I don't care what anybody says. Baseball is still baseball. Some of the stuff grinds my gears a little bit when like older guys are like, oh, these guys, this and that. Like the new generation of players, it's like these guys are throwing 100 miles an hour with a cutter, two seam, change up. Like I got to know what I'm doing. I got to have some mechanical thoughts. So that's just one thing that I've taken. I respect the older guys for sure. Yeah. But they thought about mechanics too. I promise you.
Well, I saw something yesterday that George Brett, who. George Brett.
Yeah.
He's talking about how, he talks to modern hitting coaches now about swings and strikeouts. And he said, the reason I don't strike out is because my bat was always on the same plane as the ball.
Exactly. That's a mechanical thing. To be able to get your bat on a plane with the ball is something with your mechanics. Yeah. If you ask every big leaguer in the league right now, no one wants to strike out. No one's trying to strike out. I promise you that. No one's trying to hit home runs every at bat. That's one of the most frustrating things. Like, oh, these guys don't care about strikeouts. These guys, all they care about is home runs. Struck out 4 times for the first time in my career the other day. I'm a little pissed. Like I don't like striking out 4 times.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Defensively, you found a home at third base. I know shortstop was your natural position, but you're making some excellent defensive plays. You made another one last night. What's the difference? I guess the ball gets on you sooner, but it seems like you've handled this very well.
Yeah, I guess the difference is third is probably a little bit more reaction based, just because it is quicker. I still think shortstop's the hardest position in the big leagues. I mean, I've never caught in the big leagues, but I think shortstop, the amount of ground you have to cover, the footwork, and just the angle of throws is really tough. So just playing short, I think, is probably a little bit more harder. But yeah, both of them I'm decently comfortable at. So
Didn't you say one time you could catch?
I hope not.
Were you the emergency? I thought somebody said you were.
I think I might be one of the emergency catchers. That's a rumor I've heard, but hopefully Kisner comes in and pitches. But I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to catch any of those guys.
Are you now with the transaction that sent Zeke to the minors? Are you the backup first baseman if something were to happen to Nate?
I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't heard anything. But
I guess Davis could probably play first.
Yeah, I'm sure Davis could. Davis can probably play anywhere honestly, Davis can play anywhere. So
he has a first baseman's glove. I've seen his first baseman's glove. I don't know if you
have
have
one of those.
Hey, I want to ask you this as far as that goes. I've always praised your defense. I received crap about it. Look, Josh Young is an all-star third baseman, but I have stated over and over. I said I think Smith's a better defensive third baseman. Josh Young is the third baseman for this team. That's just it. But good Lord, your arm, have you ever had a clock on it? I mean, your arm is amazing.
I don't know if I've ever, I'm not really sure if I've ever had it like how hard I throw, but yeah, I feel like one thing people will think about me is I don't have a good arm because I'm small, I think good infielders don't really have to show their arm off all that often. And so I guess maybe that's why. So.
Yeah. Well, and I was never Josh is a great third baseman. He really is a great third baseman. And I'll tell you this, we've asked Boach this bunch too, and Boach is like, he's going to still play when Josh comes back. I mean, he's not going to take your bat out of the lineup. I mean, he's like, we find places to play people that are hitting the ball. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where you have capitalized right now. Yeah. And it's been fun to watch, especially because we've known you since you came up and getting to know you and do all that. But, yeah, man, I'm proud of you. Way to go! This has been fantastic.
I appreciate it. Yeah, and you mentioned something about Josh playing third. That's one thing that I was surprised at. Josh Young playing third is how good he is over there. Like he is, in my opinion, he's a top 3 third baseman in the league defensively. I think he can hit better than however many people, but defensively, I think he surprises a lot of people with how good he is over there.
Yeah, I think if he had stayed healthy last year, he would have been at least a Gold Glove finalist. He probably would have won Rookie of the Year.
He still should have been, yeah.
I mean, he missed 5 weeks there. He still hit 24 homers. You figure in those 5 weeks he's going to approach 30, but make all those plays.
I don't understand. I don't think anyone really understands the Gold Glove debate anymore of what it is. But I don't know how Josh wasn't in it last year.
Yeah. Okay, so one more question before we hand it over. We have some fan questions for you, but. You are on the All-Star ballot. You did not make it to phase 2, but do you think about going to the All-Star game? You look at your numbers compared to other third basemen, and it's hard to argue.
I definitely I've thought about it. I think it'd be a cool opportunity.
Do the home run derby? Yeah.
No chance. If they asked me to ever do that, I think I'd be way too nervous to do that. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool opportunity just to even be considered in it, I guess. So I'm happy for that. But like I've said before, it's not a main focus, but it would be a cool opportunity.
Yeah, it would be. And it'd be at home. You wouldn't have to travel anywhere.
Yep.
So, all right, John.
Yeah,
John
so we put this out when you were supposed to come on last time, so I pulled some of those back up. And then again, I asked last night, but these are some really fun ones. This is one that I enjoy. Look, I'm a UT fan. I've said it over and over. But this is about SEC. And he said, there are some SEC guys in that clubhouse. You guys ever have any smack talk with each other in the clubhouse? You got Mississippi State in there. I know that Seager was going to go to South Carolina.
Vanderbilt's
in there.
Yeah. You guys feel like not a whole lot. I feel like the only guy that I kind of mess with about it is Wyatt Langford.
Oh, Florida, yeah.
So he went to Florida. My LSU beat him last year in the championship, so I give him a little smack talk about that. But Florida beat my team in the national championship. So he's kind of got that on me. But yeah, I mess with him a little bit, but that's about it.
Who asked that question?
That was Andrew Fegley who asked that. Robert Zarati, he said, being a Louisiana guy, does New Orleans deserve an MLB team? I know there's some expansion talk. Would they support
I am a Louisiana guy, and I'm a Baton Rouge born and bred guy. I never really felt close to New Orleans, so I'm not like I felt so. I don't know. I just never really. I care for New Orleans, but I just never felt like I never felt any like relationship with New Orleans. So I have no clue.
As a friend,
it didn't feel like family to me. It felt like a distant friend. So I'm not sure about that fan base. I don't know.
They're very close.
Okay, so
I love the Saints. So maybe.
Okay, so we got a couple here that obviously Claire's going to come up in a couple of these. She always with the so. One of them was Hayden Herring. He said the YouTube channel, getting Smitty with it. Asked him and his wife plan on continuing getting Smitty with it. I guess there hasn't been. I haven't seen any. I followed it. Have y'all not done it at all? I think he's kind of gone to TikTok now. And
yeah, she kind of. I don't see us doing that maybe as much anymore. Probably at all. She kind of just does her own stuff on her social media. So she's kind of taken that, and that's what she just does for a living now. So I doubt it.
Yeah. So she's making money.
Yeah.
Yeah. She does well for herself.
That's awesome.
Yep. Good to have
we could use some tips.
Yeah,
if she wants to help market the Rangers Today baseball
yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, we're building up and doing good, but we
I don't pay. That's the only catch. I do not pay. John here knows that I don't pay. I buy lunch on occasion.
Yeah, my contract is not one that any of y'all would have been proud of when I signed it. Misty Blackman, I guess this is two people that ask about this, but about sport. Do you get a new puppy or something?
Yeah, I mean, probably about 2 years ago almost now. So he's a little guy.
He's been starring in some videos. That must be what it is.
Yeah, he's pretty popular. I feel like a lot of people know him, so he's good.
And what kind of dog is he? You told me last year when
he's a Maltipoo, Maltipoo.
He's very cute.
Yeah, he's great.
And I love small dogs. I know you grew up.
Yeah, I'm not a big dog. I grew up with a couple dogs, but I wasn't really a dog guy. Yeah, but now I like this guy a lot. This guy's pretty sweet. Yeah.
No, I like a little lap dog. I grew up with poodles, and I'm serious. I love poodles. As soon as we have 3 dogs, 2 of them are older, and
Okay,
the sun is setting on their lives, and when they go, we're getting a poodle.
This was one that I really enjoyed because we've had some people that have asked this too. So it's from Lori Harris. She said, I'm so happy for him that he's had the everyday opportunities. He's made the most of them. His defense is amazing. He's hitting well too. I love watching him play, but if I were talking to him, I think I'd have to ask
about my helmet.
About your helmet.
Yeah. So it's funny. I have a really, really small head. Like I could probably fit in like a 6 7/8 if I needed to.
Yeah.
And my helmet, like the material on it is super slick. And so I actually just had the Rawlings guy come to the field, and we got like a anti-slip technology for the padding or something. So I'm gonna try that out. But if you see my helmet fall off, it's 2 things. It's either 1, it's a really bad swing, and 2, I probably washed my hair that morning, so my hair's super dry and it's all slick. So.
Oh man. That's going deep right there.
I know it. Yeah. He knew that was coming because I guess he probably gets that.
But you're the anti-Bruce Bochy. He has a giant head.
Oh my God!
I'm in the same boat as you because my wife gives me crap about it all the time, and when she wears my hats, she has to readjust them.
Yeah,
she has a lot of hair, but she's got a bigger head. But it's like she gives me shit about it. It's like that's no good.
I'm Bochy. Look at this dome.
I got a tiny head.
This dome right here. You would think I've got the big Bochy, not as big as Bochy, but I got the big round head, and it has nothing to do with the bigger brain in there. Like my wife will tell you that. I just got a big melon. All right, this a couple people asked about this. Do you have some kind of bourbon collection?
Small one. Yeah, I kind of just got into
And
it.
let me just say his name's Andrew Errol. Errol.
Okay.
I hope I said that right. Ask him about his bourbon collection, how it's coming along.
It's all right. I mean, I don't know too much about it yet, so I'm kind of learning. But just having a couple of bottles, I guess, from friends have given to me, gifts and stuff. So went out and bought a couple bottles. So
What do you have a favorite?
my favorite right now is just Angel's Envy, honestly,
Oh
which is I
man,
think pretty simple one. But like I said, I haven't experienced too many crazy ones.
no, I was gonna say that my favorite current bourbon is Angel's Envy. We have the bottle. I
Yeah,
like the bottle shape.
yeah, cool bottle.
I only drink bourbon when I go dove hunting
Well, that's interesting.
because I don't go anywhere. We just stay in the out in the field. We're just chugging them while we're shooting. But no, it's what we do
Guns
when we
and
get back to the
bourbon.
bunkhouse. And I'm not a big. I like beer. I'm a beer
Do you
guy.
drink it
Okay, yeah.
neat or do you drink it on ice?
I drink it on the rocks. Yeah.
Yeah. Two or three
All
fingers
right,
on
let's
ice.
get him out of here. Last one. This is funny that I mean I kind of like this one from Clark McConaughey. He said, "Will Les Miles clear Christmas?" Wanting to know already. Is Les Miles on a hot seat?
Who? He's
Les
been fired a long
Miles.
time ago. For God's sake.
Les Miles been gone for like 15 years. I feel like.
Oh, I bet he meant
So,
what's his name? That's
maybe
right,
Oh, Brian
uh,
Kelly.
Brian
Brian
Kelly.
Kelly.
He means
Brian
Brian Kelly. He
Kelly.
said Les Miles. Will Brian
Oh,
Kelly clear Christmas? I know he's kind of on a hot seat.
I think I don't know. I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 more years probably to produce some results. I think he's done a pretty good job. So hopefully, I mean, we had a Heisman quarterback last year and
Boy, he was good.
didn't make the playoffs. That's kind of tough, but I don't know. We'll give him a chance. We'll see. Hopefully, 1 or 2 more years. Hopefully, he'll bring one back for us. But no, we got faith in him, so we'll see.
At some point, you got to these universities have to stop paying coaches, buying them out.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know. I
pretty
mean, I guess
crazy.
boosters have all the money in the world, but my God, it doesn't. It's just
Hey, one more, and this is a simple one because this girl asked this last time. Her name's Teresa Musgrove Judd. She just wants to know, tell the story about going from number 47 to number 8. Is there significance there?
No, not really. I grew up with number 8.
So did I. That's what I wore every sport I ever played. I was number 8.
Yeah, I 47. I'm too small, so it looked super big on me. I just didn't love it.
you're not
So
a linebacker. John.
yeah, I had to change some
Fullback.
things up, and so I always liked number 8.
So the best eights. I was thinking about this the other day
Me.
because I do crazy stuff like that. The best eights. I think Carl Yastrzemski was number 8. Yogi Berra was number 8, and I'm leaving. I know I'm leaving one out, but anyway, eight's a good number.
Well, what was in Baltimore? What's his name?
Cal Ripken, yeah.
Wasn't he number
there,
8?
There you go.
Okay.
That's a pretty good one.
Josh, listen, man, you guys are busy. I love it that you take time. I mean, every time we see you in the clubhouse, you're always friendly. We come up and talk to you all the time, and that means the world to us. But just taking your time to stop and talk to us, we really appreciate it. We're going to continue to do it a couple times a year. See you in the off season, spring training. I mean, we love having you on. Your social media with Claire. I mean, everybody wants to ask you all these questions, and I know that's been a blast. So we really appreciate you. Anything else?
No, go out and get a win tonight.
Yeah,
How
go
about
get
that?
a win. We got to
Awesome.
stop this skid, get this
Yeah.
thing turned, get the ship going.
Hopefully we'll get it back on track. Thank you guys.